Yes, Danny Faith, London region. I'm going to combine, if I may, President, the activist report with moving emergency motion 1. I don't propose to get up here twice. It's I'm never enough getting up here once, particularly when your national officers just need task the wall.
Okay, just to make it clear, we want to move emergency motion 1 then, yes?
Yeah, if that's
okay, we're going to take that now, so we're going to take emergency motion 1, okay?
Okay, so...
Thank you, brother. You now get a bit more time.
Excellent. Okay, well, the first thing to be said is that British Airways has traditionally been a great place to work, and people are often very envious of people who have the opportunity to work there. But this is not automatic. BA is a good place to work only because it has strong trade unions, obviously ourselves and our colleagues in the Unite and BALPA, and frankly since the very bruising battle of the cabin crew a few years back, we've seen an employer that's increasingly aggressive, and that's the context behind what's happening in the IT department. Nor is it any accident that this is happening when we now discover that the largest shareholder in the parent company of British Airways, the largest shareholder who owns now 15%, is Qatar Airways. And it's self-owned by the Qatari government, which is one of the most reactionary governments on the planet. So we've seen attack after attack on the workforce, and yet we've seen bonuses paid out in astronomical proportions. Something like £120 million worth of share options have been made available to those at the top. So this is the background against which we're working. So this is not being done because this is a company on its knees. Last year, British Airways made £1.2 billion profits for the year, and yet the appetite just grows with the feeling. And so, as Mick said, they're attacking the IT department, looking to outsource the work. And as is described, much of that work is being outsourced to India. As I said yesterday in the Congress, the company is abusing the TUPE regulations to threaten people with the loss of their redundancy and redeployment rights. We've been able to back that back, but the big battle, the battle to save the jobs, continues. And here Mick again is right, that the company is acting illegally in cohorts with the Tata consultancy services and with the Home Office. The law is quite clear that you can't be made redundant and then somebody comes in on a tier 2 visa and has a job. That's exactly what's happened. We've written to our office and said, on the 29th of February, X person, we give their name, was doing this job, and on the 1st of March, Y person was doing this job on a tier 2 visa. And again, as Nick said, Theresa May has ignored this. But Theresa May should not be ignoring this. Because, and this has been revealed both by the Daily Telegraph and last week by the Channel 4 News, last June, for an entire weekend, the Home Office watch list system was brought down by the actions of one of these contractors working for BA. Now, this watch list system is supposed to be monitoring all sorts of undesirable characters going in and out of the country. These include football hooligans, or criminals, or terrorists, or national officers, whoever. The point is that because of this mistake made, I said, this is work that used to be done by BA people. When we did it, this didn't happen. Because of that, the entire network was brought down at the Home Office. So when Channel 4 published this story, they went to the Home Office and they said, well, you know, what are we going to say? Well, they said, well, we've got a backup system. It's the backup system that checks for anybody coming into the country. But they didn't say, well, it didn't check for anybody leaving the country. So for that entire weekend, the Home Office had no idea who was going off where and doing what out of this list. That's why Theresa May needs to be worried about what's happening at the end. So I'd just like to talk briefly, because this combines the activist report with the campaign that we've GMB at British Airways. And to really draw your attention to the campaign, the banners are there. We came up, well, actually one of our members came up with the slogan, "Don't take the IT out of British Airways." And really we used a mixture of old and new methods of campaigning to try and further our fight for jobs. So we've set up a Twitter feed, we've set up a Facebook page, but we've also used more traditional methods. We've had a fantastically attended public meeting for our members, which we were lucky enough to have John McDonald to speak at. We followed that up with a march. We managed to cram all of that into a lunch break so people could still get back. And 500 people were there carrying GMB placards behind our banner. 600 to sign a petition, which a number of us took off to Downing Street to hand in. We got our members to email their local MPs about what was going on, and we were lucky enough to meet up with 13 MPs in a meeting that we conducted at the House of Commons. As Mick said, we're hoping to get in a German debate in the House of Commons next week. There's a kind of theme I hope we get in terms of what we're doing, which is to involve the members. We have regular activist meetings every month to try and get the maximum level of activity to get our members involved. Now, ultimately, we know that it's going to be pressure from within that's going to help us win this. We're not foolish enough as to believe that Theresa May is going to wave a magic wand and solve our problems. That has to be done by giving our members the confidence not to cooperate and not to dig their replacements out of the murk when they inevitably fail. And that's a difficult task. As I've said, this context is not a favourable one for us at the moment. We're encouraging small acts of bravery from our members, whether it's just wearing a badge to work or a mug with a slogan on it, or to come and involve themselves in the march and try and build up this campaign, both internally and externally, to try and fight for our jobs. And I want to make this clear, that this is not really just about ourselves. Obviously, everybody benefits from a safe and secure aviation industry, but frankly, I'm not alone in being towards the twilight years of my career. Many of us doing these jobs are, but we hope so much that the jobs that we inevitably were going to leave will be replaced by our kids or our grandkids coming in good high-tech jobs, the kind of jobs that we all, I think, want our kids to aspire to. If Willie Walsh gets his way, that avenue will not be open to us. So I hope, in conclusion here, that you understand really the way in which we're trying to implement the key themes of the GMB. First of all, we fight. We don't just accept anything that's thrown at us. Secondly, we seek wherever possible to involve our members and to encourage them to be a little braver, knowing that they're not on their own. And finally, we're not just fighting for ourselves, we're fighting for our future.